All righty, welcome back once again up to Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS and BronxNet's channel 60, 67 and 68. All right, our next guest is the Executive Director of Black Mental Health Alliance and joins us to share more about their work and what you should know. We welcome Andrea Brown. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for having me.
Yes, tell us all about it.
So, we find ourselves in a unique moment in history as we, navigate COVID, the collateral impact on communities of color, and these recent uprising. And so the Black mental health has been in existence for almost 40 years, and we've been able to do what we do, um, really because we've been sensitive to what trauma looks like, what structural racism does to communities. And we pride ourselves on content and trainings that are culturally relevant to meeting the needs of Black and African American communities.
And what is that
And
mission statement?
and well, that's an absolute long mission statement, all of which
Yeah.
I'm happy to give you. And but our mission statement really is to promote and sponsor trusted, culturally relevant educational forums, trainings, and referral services that support the health and well-being of Black people in vulnerable communities.
That says a
Which is
lot right
what
there.
we
Yeah.
it really does. And we see that not just in Baltimore, but in pockets of communities across the country. And so, our inability to deal with, our inability to train and help communities deal with uh, structural racism, just the cycle perpetuates itself. And so we really want to help communities heal and become whole.
Do you find that with COVID-19 out there, more people are reaching out to you?
We do. We find that because it looks different. It looks different for communities of color. So yes, we found a spike in our membership. We've seen a spike in calls for referrals, and we've hosted town halls, and we have a series on the collateral impact of COVID-19 on communities of color and
Yeah.
what that means financially. And we're helping people redefine when we talk about the front line. We hail honestly our doctors and nurses and those
Oh,
people
yeah.
who are doing that work. But when we
Absolutely.
talk about these frontline workers who are Black, who go in and who are often unprotected and still impacted, I mean, those are frontline. Our postal
Yeah.
workers are frontline. That's the Black middle class. Um, and so, we find ourselves in an and we are redefining for the Black community what frontline looks like, what does health and wellness look
Yeah.
like, and what in this space that we're in, how do we educate our children when many communities are already under resourced, and so for our some of our Caucasian counterparts who have the luxury of having Zoom and some other things, when some kids, are trying to do homework and packets on Zoom on their smartphone. So it's a different, you see inequities and all of this. And so, how do we bridge that gap? How do we provide resources? And more importantly, how do we help communities find their voice so that they can speak for themselves?
Absolutely. And I'm right with you, right up front with those frontline workers. They're out there risking their
Yeah,
lives and sometimes losing their
absolutely.
lives to help us
Yeah,
go on
yeah,
living our
yeah.
lives.
That's
Uh,
right. That's right.
but with the protesting and the killings and the COVID-19 and everything, the unemployment, you name it. I mean, you can go on
Yeah,
down the line. With all of
yeah.
that,
That's right.
mental health is gonna it's in the forefront. But I think the stigma of it all will be probably
Yeah,
forgotten. That everybody's gonna have to come out and reach out to somebody and say, "Hey,
yeah,
I
yeah,
need help.
yeah,
I have a problem. There's too many things that I'm dealing with right now in society." And so that's where you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
come in, right?
We do. That is where we come in. But here's the thing, for the Black family has a long history of silence. And when I say silence, one of the things that the Black Mental Health Alliance does is really, how do we reduce the stigma of mental health? And so especially when we start talking about young people, and for, their Caucasian counterpart, they both go to Starbucks. One leaves and one says, I'm going someplace else. One says, well, I'm going to see my therapist. Well, there's no stigma. And so we are really working hard to reduce the stigma related to mental illness and mental health, and to help young people and all people really become aware of mental health information, so that they are able to identify what it looks like. And then, if in the right therapy session, really use positive coping mechanisms to build mental health. You know what I mean? To build a healthy mental health outlook. So yeah, we are seeing that people are understanding that this is trauma. That's what this is. This is trauma. And
it's like going
these
to war and
uprising,
coming back with PTSD.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right. This is trauma. And when we understand that, then we really set ourselves up to better heal and receive help in this moment.
Yeah.
And
Andrea,
so, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Finish. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and for people, period, but especially people of color, the fear and the social isolation is is another ball game, because we have thrived off of the extended family. And so to be distant from them in this moment is difficult.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you and your organization is doing, Andrea, to help reduce the stigma of mental health?
So a couple of things. We've put together a pilot program called the Healing Youth Alliance, and what that is that's we're doing it with the School of Social Work and another community partner. And again, we focus on increasing mental health awareness, decreasing the stigma. And so we've been meeting with young people to talk to them about what that looks like, what that means, and to create a safe space for them. And then we're doing trainings, obviously now via Zoom, for men, because that in and of itself is a whole nother, that's a different animal about how we help men so they don't have to suffer in silence. And so again, we're developing activities via virtually, so that men can weigh in. We're hosting panels. Those kinds of things. And so, again, we are learning to navigate the virtual space as much as we are able, during this time.
And some people may not even know that they are suffering from mental health. And it's going to take you and your organization and people like you to create that awareness. Some of the symptoms may be what?
So here's the thing. Maybe you can't sleep. Maybe you're not sleeping. Yeah, you're not sleeping. Maybe your eating pattern is off, and maybe you're angry. And sometimes people are depressed and don't even understand that they're depressed, because you've got this defense mechanism that you've put up, and you think that you are managing throughout the day. And then here's those kinds of things untreated lead to other health, physical health issues. And so we know some of the root cause of that is trauma and mental health issues, because they've not been addressed.
Oh, that's great. Good information. Lots of great information.
Yeah. We're in a critical time. Yes, we do. Absolutely. It's
we can talk for a while on this, because
I know we could,
and people need that help.
We could.
Yes.
Yeah, they need that help. And here's the thing, and we really want to. We can help children so that we can break this cycle.
Say that part one more time.
As we help adults, so that they can help children, so we break this cycle of silence, so that you don't have to suffer alone. And then we show you what the triggers are. But let me just love to encourage people to go to our website, which is www.blackmentalhealth.com. Again, it's www.blackmentalhealth.com. We've got, we have a plethora of therapists who have available to them culturally competent training and know how to do that. We, again, the Black Mental Health Alliance, are ready and equipped to help train and educate and speak truth to what's ailing us. So would love to engage in further dialogue. So
Yes.
I hope people reach out to us. That would just be great.
Thank you so much. Andrea Brown, Executive Director, Black Mental Health Alliance. We appreciate you and thank you for all the work that you're doing. We appreciate you.
And thank you for bringing this to the forefront. We appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a break.
Bye-bye.
I've got more coming up next on Open.